In the heart of West Africa, nestled among the vast, lush, green forests and rolling hills, lay a powerful and prosperous realm, the Ashanti Kingdom. Here, golden rivers flowed like veins through the earth, and the sun danced upon the rooftops of grand palaces. The people were strong and proud, known throughout the land as mighty warriors and wise leaders. But among all the warriors and wise men of Ashanti, one figure shone the brightest, a woman of unmatched wisdom and courage named Nala. Our story begins with Nala, the guardian of her people, and her journey to becoming one of the greatest heroines of all time. Nala was born in a small, vibrant village deep within the Ashanti Kingdom. Even as a young girl, Nala was different. She had a spark in her eyes that could light up the darkest night, and a curiosity that often led her on adventures through the forest and beyond. She was always asking questions, always eager to learn. She had a heart as fierce as a lion's, but as gentle as the river's flow. One sunny afternoon, as Nal played with her friends under the shade of a mighty baobab tree, she overheard her grandmother speaking with other elders, her voice full of wisdom and pride.
The Ashanti are strong. We are like the tallest trees in the forest, never bending, never breaking. Our strength is not just in our swords and spears, but in our spirit, our unity, and our wisdom. Remember, true strength comes not from force, but from the heart and mind.
Little Nal listened with wide eyes and a racing heart. The tales of the Ashanti warriors, their bravery, their resilience, stirred something deep within her. She felt a fire ignite in her heart, a desire to be brave and wise, like those warriors, to stand tall and strong like the baobab trees that surrounded her village. From that day on, Nala dedicated herself to learning the ways of her people. She learned to farm the fertile land, to weave beautiful Kentia cloth, and even the art of storytelling, a treasured tradition among her people. But more than anything, she learned the importance of unity and courage, the very fabric that held the Ashanti people together. Years passed, and Nal grew into a strong and intelligent young woman, admired by all for her wisdom and courage. But beyond the borders of her beloved kingdom, a dark cloud was forming. The British, with their insatiable hunger for land and power, were expanding their rule, casting their gaze upon the rich and powerful Ashanti Kingdom. They were determined to take what they believed was theirs by right. The British governor, in his arrogance, demanded the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of the Ashanti people's unity, spirit, and pride.
Her Golden Stool is more than just a throne, it is the heart of our people. We must not let it fall into foreign hands.
The chiefs were outraged, but they were also afraid. They knew that the British were powerful, with many soldiers and weapons that the Ashanti had never seen before. Fear and uncertainty began to creep into their hearts. But just as the tension reached its peak, a calm, strong voice broke through the noise. Nal, her head held high and her voice steady, stood among the elders.
Our spirit is not for sale. We will not bow to anyone. We must protect our Golden Stool, our people, and our land. No matter the cost, we must stand united, for that is where our true strength lies.
Nal's words were like a spark in the dark. They ignited a fire in the hearts of the people, a fire of determination and courage. They knew she was right. They knew that to protect their sacred Golden Stool, they must stand firm and united, just as their ancestors had done before them. And so, the Ashanti people began to prepare to defend their honor, their heritage, and their sacred Golden Stool. But little did they know, this was just the beginning of Nala's journey. A journey of bravery, wisdom, and unyielding spirit. A journey that would test her resolve and the strength of her people like never before. Stay tuned for the next episode to find out what happens next as Nala's story continues to unfold. As the Ashanti people prepared for the battle that would decide their future, Nal knew that she had to lead them with more than just strength. She needed to guide them with wisdom, courage, and an unwavering heart. She called for a grand meeting in the village's council hut, where decisions of great importance were made. The chiefs, warriors, and villagers gathered, their faces lined with both determination and fear. Nal stood before them, her eyes fierce, her voice steady, a leader ready to face whatever came next.
The British are many, and their weapons are unlike any we've faced before. They have guns that shoot from a great distance and cannons that tear through trees. How do we, with our spears and arrows, stand against such power?
We will not fight them head-on. Instead, we will outsmart them. We know our land better than any outsider could. We will use the forest as our shield, the rivers as our allies, and the night as our cover. We will strike like the leopard in the dark, silent, swift and deadly. We fight for our ancestors, for our children, and for our future. We fight because we must.
Naal's words, filled with both wisdom and passion, lit a fire in the hearts of her people. The warriors felt their spirits lift, their fear replaced by a fierce determination. They pledged their loyalty to Naal, vowing to fight alongside her, no matter the cost. They were ready to defend their land, their culture, and their way of life.
Nala, you carry the spirit of 1,000 ancestors. You are the heart of our people. We will follow you into any battle, no matter the cost, because you fight not just with your spear, but with your soul.
Naal felt a swell of pride and determination wash over her. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but it was a path they must walk together, with courage in their hearts and the spirit of their ancestors guiding their steps. As the golden rays of dawn touched the earth, signaling the start of a new day, the British forces began their march towards the Ashanti village. But the Ashanti warriors, with Naal at the helm, moved like shadows through the dense forest, their bodies blending seamlessly with the trees, their movements swift and silent. The Ashanti fought with a ferocity unmatched, using the thick forest to their advantage, ambushing the British at every turn. Naal, with her spear gleaming in the morning light, and her voice commanding like thunder, led her people with bravery that inspired all who fought beside her. Yet, the battle was far from over. The British, relentless, were determined to crush their resolve. Would Naal and her people stand tall against the might of an empire? The story of Naal and her people has just begun. Join us in the next episode to find out what fate awaits them. The battle had been raging for days, with neither side willing to concede. The Ashanti warriors, fierce and valiant, fought with all their strength, their bodies weary but spirits unbroken. The British forces, armed with superior numbers and advanced weapons, pressed on relentlessly. Naal, seeing her people tire, knew something had to change. They couldn't sustain this forever. She needed a bold plan to turn the tide in their favor.
We must draw them deeper into the forest, into the heart of our land. They are strangers here. They do not know the land like we do. The forest will become our ally. Every tree, every river, every hidden path will be to our advantage. We will confuse them, divide them, and then strike when they are at their weakest.
Third, Nala, our people are weary. Their bodies are bruised and their spirits are tired. How can we continue to fight against such overwhelming odds?
We continue because we must. We fight not just for ourselves, but for our ancestors who walked this land before us, for our children who deserve to inherit a free and proud kingdom, and for the golden stool that binds us all as one people. Our true strength lies not in the weapons we hold, but in the unity that beats within our hearts, in the spirit that cannot be broken.
With a new plan and renewed spirit, the Ashanti warriors prepared for the next phase of battle. They would lure the British deeper into the dense, unforgiving forest, where the enemy's superior numbers and advanced weapons would mean little. Here, in the heart of their land, the Ashanti would show what true bravery and unity look like. As the British soldiers trudged deeper into the forest, their nerves began to fray. The once clear paths turned into a labyrinth of trees and foliage, each step forward a plunge into unfamiliar territory. The Ashanti warriors moved like shadows among the trees, using the dense cover to their advantage. With each twist and turn, they led the British further into confusion. The forest itself seemed to come alive, aiding the Ashanti cause. Branches snapped underfoot, giving away positions, while thick undergrowth slowed the British advance.
Where are they? They're like ghosts. We can't see them, can't track them. How do we fight an enemy we cannot see?
Naal's strategy was working. The British, who had once marched with confidence, were now reduced to a frightened, disoriented force. Their unfamiliarity with the land was proving to be their greatest weakness, and Naal was exploiting it to its fullest. The forest, vast and mysterious, seemed to swallow them whole, their every step deeper into its depths, only leading them further into chaos and confusion. It all came down to this moment. After days of relentless fighting, the British forces were exhausted, their spirits diminished. The Ashanti, though weary, were united and resolute. Naal, standing at the front of her warriors, raised her spear high above her head, her voice ringing out clear and strong across the battlefield.
This is our land, our home. We have bled for it, fought for it, and we will not surrender it. Leave now while you still can, or face the full wrath of the Ashanti.
The British knew they had underestimated these people, underestimated their spirit and resolve. They realized now that this was not just a battle for territory or power, but a fight for the very soul of a people who would not be broken. They were faced with a choice: continue the fight, risking total defeat, or withdraw and live to fight another day. The choice before the British was clear, but would they see reason, or would their pride lead them to risk everything? The fate of the Ashanti Kingdom hung in the balance. Stay tuned for the final episode, where the destiny of Nala and her people will be decided. Will they achieve the freedom they so fiercely fought for, or will the weight of their enemies prove too great to bear? The British forces were at a standstill, their confidence shaken, their strength waning. Nal stood firm at the front of her people, her spear held high, her eyes never wavering from the enemy. This was a battle not just of might, but of will and spirit. She could feel the heartbeat of her land beneath her feet, the silent whispers of her ancestors urging her forward.
We have come far, but perhaps we have gone too far. These people fight not for riches, not for power, but for their home, their heritage. They fight with a spirit that cannot be broken. Maybe it is time we retreat.
The commander's words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of truth. He saw the unwavering resolve in Nala's eyes, the unity and spirit of the Ashanti people standing behind her like a solid wall. He knew deep down that this was not a fight they could win, not without losing a part of themselves in the process. As the British began their retreat, a great cheer erupted from the Ashanti warriors. They had done it. They had protected their land, their golden stool, and their way of life. The forest that had been a battlefield was now a place of victory. But Nal knew that the battle had not just been about defeating the British. It had been about showing the world the strength of unity and the power of a people standing together.
This victory is not just ours. It is for all our ancestors who fought before us, for our children who will inherit this land, and for every generation to come. We have shown the world that the Ashanti spirit cannot be broken.
The village erupted in celebration, the air filled with laughter, song, and the steady beat of drums that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the land itself. Nal stood among her people, a proud smile lighting up her face. She had led her people to victory, not just with her strength or cunning, but with her heart and her unwavering belief in her people. Years passed, and Nal continued to lead her people with wisdom and courage, guiding them through peace as she had through war. Her story became a legend, a tale passed down from generation to generation, a reminder of what it meant to be Ashanti. She taught her people the true meaning of bravery, of unity, and of a spirit that could never be broken. Her legacy lived on in the heart of every child born in the Ashanti Kingdom, a symbol of hope and strength for all who would come after. And so, the story of Nal, the brave queen of the Ashanti, became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all. Her legacy was not just one of battle, but of courage, wisdom, and the unbreakable spirit of a people who stood together in the face of adversity. And that, dear listeners, is the true magic of her story, the end.